So today I want to show the call where I closed someone last week for $8,500. Full transparency, wasn't the best call ever. After getting off the call, I thought it was a 10 out of 10, but then I watched it back and I've watched it like 3 times now. And I realized some parts were really rough. Some parts I really felt like didn't really ask the right questions, didn't really have the right frame. And once again, full transparency, I felt like this guy, he wasn't a complete laydown. At the end of the call, you will see he gave me a time objection. But he was very open, and he was very open to, he just needed like a slight little nudge at the end. So altogether, if I had to rate this call out of 10, I think I'd give it a 6, maybe a 7 at some parts. Once again, he was quite open. He was open to buying it. He was kind of financially qualified at the end. So those things did come into play. He was quite warm. So it wasn't no crazy objection handling video, no crazy like mind manipulation stuff in the discovery phase. It was quite an open talk, quite an open chat. Did manage to get some key things out of it. I just want to show it. Once again, it's not my proudest call, but it's the most I've ever got paid for a close, which is my second one right now. So I'll end up posting my other one, the one that I closed for 4.2. But I want to post this one, show you that's not perfect, so that I can come back to this and see what I was closing like from a year from now, right? So here's the call. Okay, here we go. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, mate. Okay, so I know I already spoke to you on the phone already a couple times. So just double check, you did get a chance to watch that video and everything, right?
I did. Yep.
Perfect. Well, hey, I mean, we can jump straight into it here, mate. So typically, on this call, I just want to make sure I understand exactly what your goals are, what you're trying to do, and just most importantly, just have 100% certainty that we can actually help you here. Now,
Okay.
if we can't, no worries, we'll talk about next steps. If we can't, then no hard feelings. We can always put you in the right direction as well. So,
Okay.
I mean, just in terms of booking this call, different guys booking these calls for different reasons. I am curious for you. I don't want to make any assumptions. What got you interested in booking this call today?
Well, I'm still working my way through a nasty divorce. I've been separated for 2.5 years. Looks like I've already spent like, are you in the States right now?
No, UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've already spent like $30,000, and I'm gonna probably, if it goes to a trial, I'm gonna have to spend another $40K. But this time has allowed me to figure out what's next for me. And even though like my head's not in the space of dating right at this moment, I know kind of what I want, and I guess I just want some goals. My goal is to, after reading your video, like my goal is to, I'm 51, almost turning 52 there in the summer. I do want to, like, I'm getting old, and I'm lucky I have a job with a pension. I'm going to retire here in like 7 years or so, and I want someone to share my life with. But I want to find the right person. Do you know what I mean? And I want to have the confidence going forward to do that and pick the right person. That's what I'm after.
Okay, I really respect that. I mean, some guys, they do jump on these calls just because they want to get themselves out there and have more dates. But, of course, we have another group of guys like you that, from what you've kind of said, is you are looking to find a lady, settle down, and have that life with that one person. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Correct.
Okay. Right, perfect. So you said you're going through a divorce right now, and just in terms of getting back into the dating scene, I mean, have you been doing anything to kind of put yourself out there so that you can find another lady, or just walk me through what you've been doing?
So like financially, it's been very stressful up until just a short time ago, and I feel like I don't want to start dating until this is done, because I just don't know. So I guess the best way to to do it is I want the dust to kind of settle, so I know going into dating somebody that they kind of know where everything stands. Like my ex-wife wants like we just went to court for an interim. She wanted more spousal support, and she wanted like 90% of my take-home pay as spousal support. Luckily, she didn't get it, but this is what this crazy lady's after. Like I need to know I can actually live independently. I was very fortunate to have uh, that my mom lived in the same city that I worked. So I like for a year and a half, she refused to sell our house. I had to live with my mom. So like it's just a situation where it's you know, mentally I'm in a good place now. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, if she's not going to settle, a judge has to decide what's going to happen, right? And then I have to spend another 30 grand. But luckily, right now, I don't have to worry about that paying for court. Like I'm just like, you know, unfortunately, like my mother passed away recently, but like at the same time, like a gift from that is that I know I can pay for this trial, and I didn't know that before. So I'm
Wow.
kind of in a little bit of a weird, I feel like I'm in a holding pattern. I do have an idea on someone who I want to date, a colleague of mine.
Okay.
And I guess really I'd like to know how to, uh, and I would consider her a friend. And
Yeah.
I'd like to, like, how's the best way? And after listening to the video, like, I kind of get the whole idea. But I just like to know, like, how do you play that? And that's what I'm looking for, something like that. And who knows if she's interested, and that's fine. Like, I'm not,
Yeah.
but, and I want to go out and, you know, experience and explore other things.
Yeah.
But like, I just want to not look like the term you young people use now is look like a simp. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, of course. Just in terms of, I mean, let's say if you was to kind of make that approach and introduce yourself to, well, actually try and move forward with your colleague, you said,
Yep, yep.
just in terms of your skill set and how comfortable you feel like you'd be able to actually be able to make the approach and set up the day and get things going. You know, on a scale to 1 to 10, you know, like how what would you say your skill set is right now in terms of how you'd be able to move forward with that?
Well, in that situation, I'm like at a 5 or a 6. I think I feel like I met my ex-wife and I dated after a long-term relationship many like 15 years ago. I met my ex-wife on like eHarmony, like an internet dating site, and I had
Right.
no problem making those connections and setting up like first dates and all of that stuff. But I really feel that the two area, I feel that this is, I almost feel like I'm in a fucking high school again, right?
Okay.
This apprehension about approaching someone that I consider a friend and a colleague, a respected friend and colleague, and worried about the
Right.
impact of revealing that on our relationship as it stands now, which I quite like. And
Mhm.
but like, and then it's different going out and approaching someone in public. Like there's, to me,
Right.
there's no consequences to that, right? Like I don't know if I have the skills to do that in a beneficial way, but at the same
Okay.
time, it's like whatever. Like if she says no, like I don't know this person, who cares? But it's different with the call with my colleague, if that makes any sense.
I get where you're coming from. Okay. So you said you're currently around a 5 to a 6. I mean, for you, what's that missing gap that's keeping you from being 100% confident in your skill set and keeping you from that 10?
Um, I think it's just the strategy, and and then it's like for me, it's like this hill, like just to get up over that hill to figure out the right time, place, all that stuff
Yeah.
to figure out. Because you know, like um, it's a situation where you fuck up with someone you don't know. Who cares? There's other people around, but you fuck up with someone you know. You gotta like
Hmm.
still work with them and all
Yeah,
that,
you're still in their
right?
face, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I get where you're coming
Hmm.
from.
Yeah.
Okay. So just in terms of mine, okay. So you mentioned that hill, like just so I have
a better picture of what you're talking about. Like, what do you kind of mean in terms of that hill? Like, what does that mean for you?
Getting the balls,
Okay,
right? Getting enough courage to get up
right.
there and have that conversation. But I'm also like,
Hmm.
I was very unhealthy. I'm getting health back, getting back into shape. So there's part of me that wants to be wants to continue on that path for myself.
Yeah.
And the better shape I'm in, the more confidence I have, right? And so like I feel that as I'm getting my health back, that my confidence is going up.
Oh, absolutely. I know that's a huge key of being able to actually make the approach and just be that person that you want to be in life, right? Just being confident.
Right.
So I guess when it comes to actually being confident, like again, if we had to rate that on a scale to 1 to 10, I mean, like just full transparency, like how confident would you say you are just in yourself in terms of not just your
I
dating skills, but just as a whole?
Yeah, like I think I'm around a 6. Like I'm striving and to get into shape, eating
Right.
right and working out and those things, and I'm making progress, but I'm not at where I want to be just yet.
Okay. And where is it you want to be exactly?
So like I'm 6'7" and I'm about 250. I want to lose another 20 to 30 pounds, and then like I don't ever want to be like, I think it's unreasonable. I'll never be perfect, but just
Mm.
a little bit more. I kind of have that goal of around 220 pounds, 230 pounds in mind.
Right.
And then, but like I said, my confidence is increasing,
Right.
every week or two, right? When I get on the scale again or just look at myself in the mirror, right?
Yeah. I see where you're coming from. And that's when it comes to the physical aspect. I guess when it comes to the actual skill set of, I know you mentioned sometimes not knowing exactly what to say or how to say it. Um,
Yes.
right. So with that, when you do kind of, I mean, when was the last time you did have to kind of put yourself out there and speak to someone and have to know what to say and how to say it?
Like with a woman, it was like, I met my ex-wife in like 2010. So it's been a while.
Oh, okay, okay. And I guess it's been it's been a while back. I mean, just in terms of, I know you said you are waiting to actually get through the divorce, right? So that you can put yourself out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just in terms of a timeline, do you know how long that would be so that you can actually get yourself out there and, you know,
The fall, the fall of this year.
before? Okay, okay. And I guess, is it a priority for you to not for you to actually start learning how to do this now? Or is this something that you'd want to put off to the side until maybe till fall or maybe a little bit after, just so that I see where we're at right now?
I think that would be the best thing. And I'd like to, I'm willing to invest in this type of skill, but I want it
Right,
to be the right time. Does
right.
that make sense?
I get where you're coming from. I would say in terms of time, and you can tell me if like your thoughts on this, I think it would be great for you to actually start learning how to do this stuff now so that once you are finally in the field and you're actually ready to go out there, you're like, hey, I already know what I need to do. Let's just go out there.
Okay.
Instead
Yeah,
of,
like that. Yeah,
you know,
being ready and having to wait. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So,
yeah.
having said that, what kind of how does it work? What do you offer? What is the cost? All that stuff.
So now here you'll probably get this. I've had this a couple times now on my calls where you're going through your questioning, you're speaking to them, and then sometimes they get a little bit tired of answering these questions, or sometimes they're a bit curious. Okay, okay, but like, what do you guys actually do? What's the program? What's the price? Like in the middle of discovery. Now you don't want to make the rookie mistake of just going, okay, then fuck it, I'm just gonna pitch from here. No, like I still had to go through the rest of my discovery, and in just a normal way, I'll just like, don't worry about that, bro. We're gonna get to that soon, and just carry on from there. Once again, quite an open guy. There wasn't a lot of pushback there, but yeah, just make sure you always stick to your process, right? If a process wants to know exactly what the price is, right at the beginning of the call, probably not the right thing to do. Now, of course, there are nuances to that as well. If they carry on pushing and pushing and pushing, it's probably a different way that I would have gone around it. But for this, you just stay onto the process. Yeah, no worry about that. We're gonna get to that, and then just carry on with your question.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we'll definitely dive into that in a second here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got a couple ways that we can help you out here, right? Um, I was just gonna ask you, I mean, if you were to actually, let's say the divorce happened right now and you did put yourself out there and you start making those approaches and start looking for those
Yeah.
ladies, do you feel like realistically, the way you are right now in terms of your confidence, how you are right now as a whole, do you feel like you would be able to realistically actually find that lady and be able to build something there as fast as you like, or do you feel like you need to kind of make some changes here and learn what we need
Yeah,
to
I
do?
think my health path. I think I'd go down my health path a little bit further, and then maybe but maybe having some of those skills, and maybe it'll be like a spontaneous moment where I make that decision, right, to engage that. But looking at right now, I just want a little more time to focus on my health before I'd actually start to go out and
Mm.
try and make those connections. Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. But I'm pretty sure you are aware that, I mean, there's guys that are way out of shape that are still able to get those women. You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah. So like that kind of, I did see that, like there's like 3 videos I watched on that link, and then I did see that.
Yeah,
So you know what, like maybe having this information might give me just the confidence to start talking, and who
absolutely.
knows what happens after that, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So like I see the value in it. Yeah, I do. Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Because like I said, this can definitely help in terms of the skill set. And of course, I don't want you to be one of those guys where it's like, I want to wait till I have the perfect body. I know you said, you can't get to
No,
perfect,
like
but
I think that's unrealistic. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, okay, okay. I mean, once you do have those skill sets, right, and the body, of course, but more importantly, you have that skill and you have that confidence. Like, how would that change your dating life when you are actually in the scene and you are looking for those connections? Like, what does that look like for you?
So now I've gone through, you could say, my problem awareness phase and really my current state. So now I know what's happening, but now I want to build the actual picture. I want to see what the actual goal is here. So it's kind of like just feature pacing them. So just saying, okay, once we do put you in the position where you do have ABC goal and you are finally that version of yourself that you want to be, just paint that picture for me here. Like, what does that look like for you? Normally when you do that, now you can start lining up. Now you can smile. The prospects probably gonna look up and be like, wow, I mean, it'll be amazing. It'll be this and that. And then you can really get them to like picture themselves in the actual position that they want to be in.
So based on my previous dating experience,
Right.
and with my ex-wife, I really feel like I ignored some red flags. And so I feel that this confidence would just help me feel that I don't have to put up with um, a woman that has things that I don't want. So
Right.
I think it'll avoid me settling. And it's not like I don't feel like I settle. It's just
Mm,
as you reflect, you say, oh, like that was a red flag. And it's maybe allow me to have confidence to set good boundaries and recognize things I just don't want to deal with. If there's things now that back when I met my ex that I would be acceptable that just aren't acceptable to me now. Like I'm in a different place in my life where
right.
um, I don't want to deal with a bitch. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Of course. I get where you I get where you're coming. I mean, having those boundaries, like you said, being able to set a real standard for your relationship is huge. So like you said,
Right,
we don't want to ignore those red flags early on, and then we end up
right,
being a really long relationship where it's just really affecting us in all aspects of life, right? I'm
right.
pretty sure
I
you're
agree.
aware, like, behind every successful man, there's a successful woman that actually helps them and has those
And
boundaries.
that's yeah. So I don't want a plug or someone who isn't driven. I don't want a workaholic, but I feel myself attracted to women who are driven in their careers, who um, they don't have to make more than me. I'm Not
Yeah.
that I make a whole lot of money, but I'm, I feel good in my career, and I think that, and I've achieved some success, and I still want more success. I'm a police officer,
Yeah.
and been promoted once. I want to get promoted again, and but I just want someone who is engaged in their career as well. So like I need to have, want to be able to recognize that, and not be worried about having to settle for the first woman that wants to suck my dick. Do you know what I mean?
I get where you're coming from. I guess is that why you're I guess is that why you're, taking an interest to your colleague. She kind of has those values in place.
Absolutely. Yeah, she
Right.
is. Yeah, very much. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And of course, even if it wasn't to be her, those are the type of caliber of women that we are striving to get, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Per-
Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Because honestly, like, just like sleeping around with a bunch of girls out the bars, I mean, like, that's okay. But when you actually want to build something like you are trying to do here, of course, we want that certain caliber of woman, which is great. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, I mean, that's what the success looks like for you. I mean, having that confidence, having that type of woman in your life that you can actually build a successful life with. There is another side where I get people don't like to talk about, but it's important that we know what the other side looks like here. I mean, what happens if nothing really changes? We don't get that confidence and we don't actually get to that caliber of woman just moving forward, for another couple of years. What would that look like for you?
And then here, it's the opposite of getting them to picture themselves at the goal. Now it's kind of like the consequence phase or the fear phase, whatever. Different people call it different things, but here you could just say consequence phase, where basically what happens if you don't take any action and you carry on this path for another year or 2 years or 3 years? What happens if nothing changes? What does that look like for you? And just getting them to realize, so you brought them up, making them realize, okay, when I do make these changes, I'm going to be like this amazing person. But then you're bringing them back down to actually realizing, okay, well, shit, what happens if I actually don't make a change for the next 12 months, 2 years, 4 years, whatever it is? And just making them realize, oh, damn, don't want that to happen. Now, full transparency, a lot of people do get defensive sometimes when you ask them this question. They'll be like, well, I'm a positive person and I won't let that happen and stuff like that. It's important that you don't let them steamroll you on this question, because it's important that you get them to realize, what happens if actually, like, seriously, what if nothing happens here? And if they do push back and they're like, well, I'm a positive person and I won't let that happen, I always just reframe them in a way of just saying, okay, well, I'm really happy that you are a positive person. I am too. But it's really important that we do look on the other side of this. So just generally speaking, like, what happens if nothing changes here? I just loop them back, right? Just so that they can realize, okay, I don't want to not take action on this.
You know what? That would be fine, because, like, just be doing my own thing. This divorce, at least it's allowed me time to invest in myself, whether it be with my health or invest extra time at work to prepare for like my next promotional process, or to add value for my employer. And I've had the time to invest in that. So, like right now, I'm still, even though I'm turning 52, I still feel really good. I feel, with my health coming back, I feel very young. And, you know, um, so like I have no problem in having some patience and waiting for the right opportunity.
Okay.
But if I have the skill, like, even if I have the skills and I'm putting myself out there, like, if the right person does come along, like, okay, like I've got I'm okay being alone right now. It's not my end goal, but like I'm okay with it.
Okay. I mean, short term, absolutely, like having the actual
Yeah.
patience to wait. But I mean, like long term, big picture, I'm talking about, it could be a decade plus, right, where we don't actually get to that relationship that we're looking for. I mean, is that something that you would want to sell for, or how's that looking for you?
Yeah, I don't want to be alone in a decade. I want to be retired with my partner,
Yeah.
traveling and all that stuff. But I mean, but I also have come to accept that some things I can't control, and I'm pretty good at accepting the way things are.
Right.
So like, yeah, that would be shitty. It would be
Right.
shitty and not what I want, but I don't know. I'll just try and focus on uh, keeping my head together and just staying positive. But I honestly, I think I have enough confidence to realize that I don't think I'll be in that situation.
Mm, mm. I see where you're coming from. And of course, just ultimately, who's responsible for making sure that we do get to the position where we have the skill set, we have the body, and we have that caliber of woman in our life just moving forward,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, just based off our conversation here, Colin, I can tell that this is a good fit. We can actually help you out here, right? So what I'm gonna do, coach, is and just get that real life feedback in person, right? So that's everything there, brother. I mean, do you have any questions for me based off that?
No, I mean, it sounds good. I guess I'm waiting for the last piece. What's the pricing structure?
Okay, that's the last bit. That's the big question, isn't it? So, I mean, before I even drop the price, do you feel like this can actually help you out here? If you don't feel like, you can just let me know.
So now I've gone through the course. I had to blur out the course of course, so that people don't know. But gone through it, deliverables, benefits, all that stuff. He wants to know the price, which is cool. I could have dropped it here, but what I wanted to do was just kind of get that buy-in. And when I say buy-in is before telling him, hey, it's 8.5K, I want to make sure before I even say that, do you generally feel like we can actually help you out here? Yes or no?
No, I feel like it. I feel like,
Yeah.
so like on TikTok, sometimes my algorithm has gotten tied up with all these guys with dating advice. So,
Right.
and, but I just feel like I'm ready for some information, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel ready.
Right. Perfect. So, I mean, just everything that went over here, it would be a one-time investment of 8,500.
Okay. And
So,
is that US dollars or
US dollars, yes. Yes, sir.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a one-time investment at 8,500. Yep.
Yes, sir. So that would give you access to everything that I've just gone over here. It is a 12-week program in terms of the actual coaching course, access, and the actual in-person event. But in terms of the actual course, you have lifetime access to that as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's just the one-time payment?
One-time payment and you're done. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And but you're not paying for my my plane ticket to LA if I go to that event.
Oh,
Obviously.
that would be a sweet deal.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm still interested. What's
Okay.
the next step?
Okay, well, next steps is basically we take payment, and then once that's confirmed, we get you onboarded. You'll have access to everything. You'll be able to jump on the calls with the coaches, access to our community, and from there, you're pretty much ready to go. I mean, that's the next steps, really. I mean, how you feeling? You ready to move forward?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'll just have to wait a couple weeks for payment. And then but I think I'm ready to go.
Okay. And when you say wait a couple weeks for payment, just for transparency, is that something in terms of the investment? Is that something that you have on you now, or is that something that you might need to take?
Well,
So this is where the objection came up, you could say, where he wanted to move forward with it. He liked it. He felt like we can help him out, but he wanted to wait a couple weeks for payment, for funds, if I'm right. So once again, no Jedi mind tricks in terms of objection handling. I genuinely just wanted clarification on what did he mean by that. So I just asked him, like, when you say you have to wait for payment, basically what does that mean? You don't have to use the exact words I use, say it in your own words. But I said it along the lines of, okay, well, is that something that you have on you now, or is that something that you're gonna need to save up towards in the future? And because he was quite open, he just straight up told me, well, he don't have it in cash, he has it in credit, so he can move forward with this now.
Actually, I do have it on. I've got available credit. Yeah. So like, yeah, that's something that I could do right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. Like, I don't have to wait. I was just waiting for cash, but I
Yeah.
can also, I have the credit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's something that you can move forward with in terms of the credit, you know, I would say the best time to move forward with this would be now, right?
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, yeah. So what I can do is, hold on, let me pull this up for you here. Let's pull this up. So when you say in terms of credit, how do you mean? Is that like a credit
A
card or
credit card.
credit card?
Credit card.
Perfect. So I'm just gonna pop this here. Here we go. So you'll see, can you see in the chat? I've just popped it in there.
I just see you and then recording and taking notes. I don't see
Okay.
anything.
You should be able to see, I've just sent you over the link on the chat.
Let me see if I can get to the chat.
So now that I know that he has the credit and he has the available funds and the means to move forward with this, it's just from there, I'm pretty sure I just said, well, it would make sense to do this now. He agreed. And then from there, pretty much assume the sale, right? From here, basically what I did was I put the link in the chat. he had a bit of trouble finding it in there. Eventually he found it. I already spoke about this where we had trouble with him paying the full thing because it was over the bank was cut blocking, I'm not gonna lie. So we had to call him. Still didn't work. We tried an 8K link. Basically at the end of the call, we had to do 2 split payments. So he did a split pay, and then a couple hours later he did another split pay, and then that was a paid in full. So that's exactly how I did 8.5K sale for the first time. Not my best call. There's so many stuff in there that I felt like I need to work on. Just being a better leader, being more sharp with my questions, and having more of have better frame on my calls. You know, it's like the doctor analogy where you're speaking to the patient and you need to be confident what you're saying. So yeah, if there's any closers watching this and if you have any feedback, you can always just let me know. You can put it in the comments or whatever it is. But yeah, that was my call.